Okay, we've been doing for the last couple of days the position called double 50. Today we finished that kind of the topic yesterday. I want to switch over to a position that's similar called 50x today. So we're going to spend all day today just getting familiar with the position itself and going into heel hook breaking mechanics from the position and escapes from the position. So that's going to be the topic for today. We're also going to be doing some positional sparring specifically with how to escape heel hooks from the 50x position. So hopefully you should all have a really strong heel hook by the end of the day, and at the same time you should have a really strong escape as well. So, but first, since it's early morning, stand up. I want us to get a bit warm, and at the same time, since we're doing leg locks, it's really important for leg locks to be able to invert, so we're just going to invert a bit to get warmed up. So we're starting in this position. I call this exercise the inversion breakdance because it looks like you're breakdancing. So I take this first arm, pass it under my leg and in front of his. Okay? I'm kind of hooking my arm on his. I should not need to do a lot of pulling with this arm though. This is just an anchor. And now I go to invert, and when I invert, my key is I want my head to go here between his legs. And I want to be able to see his face through my legs. And from here, I take out the far leg, I do a big arc, and I want my butt to land right beside him. And then I just keep doing the same movement. Should be able to do a couple of circles around the back. That's why I call it the inversion breakdance, because it looks like you're doing one of those weird breakdance moves. Okay, partner up, just give it a try. Perfect. Okay, so everyone gets a partner and just try to warm up practicing your inversion. Okay, I think everyone's getting the inversion pretty well, so just double 50 basically. Okay, so like I said, the position that we've been doing so far has been double 50. For the people who weren't in class up until now, double 50 is this position, okay? When I have this leg and this leg pinned, and his back leg here with this leg, they're also pinned. This is actually really good for me, especially to heel hook, because I have the heel right away. He can't really use his arms to defend. If he tries to grab my arm and stop the heel hook, he's way too far away. This isn't really going to help. This leg can't really be used either because it's pinned with my hook. My back heel is keeping control of this back leg, and he also really can't step out. Exactly. Now, the downside to this position, and this is why we're doing the 50x today, is this foot for me, because he actually can pin it to the ground. Exactly. It's in a position where, and now I don't have a struggle lock anymore. And now he can start doing things to escape. One way we can... You just like kicking people in the face. Okay, one way we can mitigate that situation is with the position we're doing today, which is called 50x. It gets that name because I'm making an X with my feet. So instead of back heeling with this foot, I'm going to take it out and pin it here. And here is the X of the name. I'll show it with someone else so you can see it. So, and here with my legs, this is where the X comes from. I've got basically my foot kind of here, right between his glutes. It has, again, advantages and disadvantages. The obvious disadvantage is I don't have as much control of this back leg anymore. But the advantage is, now if he tries to strip this leg, go ahead. Oh yeah? Oh yeah. I still have a really tight grip with it. So he gets the use of this leg, but I still pin this leg. And yeah, even if he tries to kick out with the leg, this X position is actually really strong. So it's actually really hard. And the best defense he has is if he does a back step. Go ahead. And now I land in this nice sort of inside ashi position. If he tries to come close to me, this knee is blocking him. He can get to my arm, but if he doesn't have as much of a distance, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And if he tries to kick out with this leg, yeah, exactly. I've got a nice wind control position of him right here still. So this is the advantages of 50X, is that this leg gets more active, stops this leg from being able to get pulled out, and at the same time, if he does manage to roll over, I get to keep my heel hook and keep trying to cement the guy. Okay?
And your feet are pretty much hidden.
Yeah, exactly. You can't attack this one because it's hidden by this leg, and you can't attack this one because it's tucked under your body. So you've also, with your own body weight, you've basically locked this leg in position.
Yeah.
Because you're sitting on this foot, basically. Go back, roll quick over. Okay, now go back. Because this is how it will come, and you see you're sitting on my foot, so try to pull this leg out. Yeah.
There's no really
Yeah, exactly.
how to grab it.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus, what first?
Yeah, and as you're doing that, and you now go back into another. Yeah. So, like I said, those are the advantages of 50X. So I don't want us to start heel hooking each other right away. Instead, just partner up again, and we're just going to practice just getting the position and making sure we have the position correctly. So all I want everyone to do, again, beginning position. So just to enter the position, the way it works is the front leg goes in here. From here, I'm going to take this leg, and here's where that first exercise comes in. I invert, weave this leg between his two legs, pull his foot into the armpit, no heel hooking it, and from here, I take this leg and put it here. And just go into position and kind of get a feel. Maybe he takes a back step, just so you can feel the transition over to here, okay? And just working like that, okay? I don't want to spend a lot of time heel hooking each other today. Well, I do, but not right now. First, get used to the position, okay? Partner up. Okay, so moving on, next section, okay? I think everyone's getting a good feeling for the position. Come back a bit. So I want to go to breaking mechanics now. Here we have a similar issue that we had with the double 50. There is a position, 1 second, straighten your leg, this leg. Yeah, thank you. Okay, this is where all of these kinds of what are known as backside positions start. You can put your knee back on the ground. Okay, and from this general position, if I just do the standard heel hook, it's not that effective. I don't have very good breaking mechanics here because the floor is blocking me from rotating. So what I would normally do is I would go belly down, and now I can use my hips and get a very quick tap. Now the problem with, pick your leg up again. Yeah, okay. Now the problem with both double 50 and 50X is that I'm using my legs to keep him in position, which robs me of the ability to go belly down. I can't turn my face to the ground now because I'm going to lose my legs here. And that's the whole point to this position. Because of that, we have to take a different grip with the heel hook. This one isn't going, it can work, but it's not effective. You're going to have to twist a lot and use a lot of muscle for a tap, and we don't want that. We want a nice, easy, efficient heel hook. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to take a grip called the reverse figure 4. So instead of trying to drive the heel hook with this arm, I take the other arm, kind of hug his hand, and I want his heel on the back of my wrist, like this. His whole leg is now covered with my arm. There are no holes. It's got a very tight grip. And from here, I lock this in with the bicep, and now I take my elbow and start to twist it to the floor. And you see I get a tap very fast now. This is a very, very powerful grip. This is probably the strongest heel hook grip you can take. The disadvantage to this one in the normal heel hooks, if we just go into like a simple inside ashi, from this position, it's not impossible, but this grip is harder to get now because he can do a lot of things to kind of annoy me and hide his heel. He's got this arm, he can use his legs. So that is why normally you see this grip, the preferred one in this position. And that's because it's easier and faster to get. If I take the time to, yeah, you might want to go over there so you can see. Okay, this grip in this position is a very good grip. It's flexible, I can get it very quickly, and it's something I can lock up fairly tight fairly quickly. If I take the time from here to go here, he can start hiding his heel again. Yeah, exactly. He can start using his feet, he can start using his arms. This is a bad, again, it can be done, it's not the most efficient way to spend my time hunting for the figure four, when this one is perfectly fine and I'm going to get it more quickly. In the backside position, that's completely different. Because again, the whole point to the backside position is that I've taken out most of these weapons. Even if I don't have the hook, the foot in my armpit yet, he can't really use his arms. That foot is on the ground. His heel is already in the air. So I don't need to do a lot of work. I can just grab the heel, bring it up here. So I've got 80% of my work for the heel hook already done. I don't need to start fishing for his heel because it's already in the air. The feet and the arms are already kind of taken care of. He's looking the other way. He can't really see what I'm doing. Now it's the perfect time to take my reverse figure four, the strongest of the heel hook grips, and just, yeah. And again, you see, he taps very quickly. Do this slowly and gently, okay? No one is in a hurry because this is a very strong grip and you really can break someone's tibia with this very, very easily. There is a match, Craig Jones versus Vinny Mangalesh, where he actually did, I think, this specific grip on the heel to his opponent, Vinny Mangalesh, and Vinny Mangalesh didn't tap, but Craig Jones was saying he could see how the guy's tibia was pressing against his skin like that. He had completely not cracked, he broke a compound fracture of the tibia, and it didn't poke out, he wasn't bleeding, but when he tried to heel hook him again, it was like doing this. So that's safety. Be very slow, very gentle. Do not be in a hurry. Take all the time you need. Okay? So give that a try. Breaking mechanics. I think everyone's getting a good feeling for this. Oh, my leg. So I think everyone's getting a good feeling for the position and for the breaking mechanics. Now the last step for today, we're going through escapes. It's a lot. It's the same process basically for escaping from the double 50, but not everyone was here for my double 50 classes, so I want to show it anyway. Now, don't grab the heel yet. So just right here, this position, like I said, I have a hard time using my hands here. I can't really use this leg, and this foot is really free in the air. So the first, and generally speaking, take your grip. Yeah. If you get here, I would start tapping, honestly. This is a very dire situation. If he starts getting this grip, I would not take a back step in this direction. Oh, God. Stop. Yeah. Because the thing is, he is twisting my leg this way. If I take a back step that way in the opposite direction, I'm going to break my own leg. So if you notice your opponent gets the grip, I would start trying to do something else, but I would be ready to tap, because that's a very bad position for everyone. That's where things are really, really dire, in this specific position. So 80% of our escapes are going to be preventing him from getting that grip. So if he gets the 50x, my first job is to make this foot as heavy as I can possibly make it. So to do that, I'm going to use my post here. I'm going to lift this knee off the ground, and I'm going to use all my weight on my toes. This is not 100%, but try and pick it out. This is buying me time now. He's going to have a hard time picking up my foot and getting it into position. So that's my first point right there. All my weight goes into those toes, and I use that to just plug those things on the mat as hard as I can. While he's fishing for that, I can use this leg to start peeling off his hooks. And from here, I escape. And that's 90% of your escapes when you're in these kind of backside positions. Pretty much all of them. Most of the time, the situation is the same. He has the same advantages. I have the same goal. He wants to get, So he wants to get a hold of this foot. I want to make that as hard as possible. So all of my weight goes into that foot. I should be like this in the air. That makes this leg light, and I can start using that to clear my knee. The minute your knee is clear, the heel hook loses 90% of its effectiveness. The minute this knee is outside of his entanglements, I don't want to say you're 100% safe, but you don't have to worry as much anymore. Even if he's got a strong grip, you're pretty safe then. You can take a lot more twisting without hurting yourself then. So, or in the other case, let's say that he has a good capture, or I've got my weight on my foot, but he's got a good control here. You're not flexible enough. You can't get your leg on the knee. From here, since he doesn't have a grip, now I can twist out, and now I can go to my standard heel hook escapes. The first thing I would do is bury my heel in the ground. Just like before, I want to make this foot as heavy as I can possibly make it. I do not want him picking my heel up. Yeah, exactly. Say he does manage to pick up my heel, you point your toes and put your heel on the inside. This is called hiding the heel. Yeah, and again, just try to, See, he's having a hard time even finding the heel, and look at how he has to bend, and that gives me a chance to clear my knee. Okay? So, that's your general strategy when you want to escape. First, prevent him in the position from getting the heel, and let's say you can't get, and if you can kick the knee out, then you kick the knee out and free your leg. If you can't, then you turn it into a conventional heel hook, and now you have all of your weapons here. You can defend yourself a lot more effectively because you've neutralized the advantages he has of the backside position. Okay? So again, same partners, take the double 50 position, slowly just kind of try out putting weight in the foot, clearing the leg, twisting it out into a standard heel hook. Just slowly work, trying out a couple of those escapes, okay? So, and after that, we'll do some sparring. We're going to some positional sparring now. I always like to have some rounds like this in all of my classes. So if you come to my classes a lot, you're going to do this a lot. So what we're doing is submission escape sparring. I let my opponent take the backside 50-50, but he doesn't get a grip yet. This is our starting position, okay? I have to start from probably the worst position I can start in, and he has to wait until I say go. He doesn't get to just take a position and immediately start ripping heel hooks, okay? And when I say go, my goal is I have to escape. His goal is he has to finish with the inside heel hook, okay? So from here, just like low demo, okay? We just kind of go, and now I'm out, okay? That is my goal, and his goal is to finish. And very, very important, when I say finish, he doesn't get to tap me, okay? No one gets to actually finish the heel hook in this exercise, okay? What you do is, just take the position. You are only allowed, it doesn't matter if you're doing it from the 80-50 or another position, but you are only allowed to get your grip. Once you get the grip, you start to count out loud to 10. If you can count to 10 before he can escape the grip, you win. Okay? If he cannot, if he escapes, then you keep going. Okay? And no one gets to start cranking the heel hook. I do not want to see any injuries at all. Okay? You only hold, because if you can hold this 10 seconds, you can break it. If he can't get out in 10 seconds, he's not getting out until you can break it. That's just kind of logical. And in general, because again, we are doing submission escape sparring, try to keep the energy level to an acceptable, okay? Again, no jerking. I don't want to see people like being gym spazzes and going crazy, okay? Try to be at a level where you can control yourself, where you can, if you are worried you're going to hurt your opponent, you stop. If there's ever a point where you're not sure you can control what you're doing, you stop. If it means you lose the round, that means you lose the round. Because losing the round is better than hurting your training partner, okay? And something I would like is I want the people who haven't done this kind of sparring with us yet to do it with the people who have done this kind of sparring with us, okay? So Jonas, Jan and I, we do this a lot, so all of you train with us. I don't want you doing this kind of sparring with each other, okay? Because I don't want anyone accidentally injuring each other, okay? Sound clear?
Okay.
So we're doing 4 rounds of this. You get 2 minutes, okay? 2 minutes you get to escape, and then 2 minutes you get to try and submit, and then we change partners, all right?